All right, let's cut through the noise. There's a constant debate in the firearms world about what makes a bullet truly lethal, and frankly, most of it is pure speculation. For decades, shooters have argued over which caliber is supreme for self-defense, throwing around terms like stopping power and knockdown force, as if they are absolute truths. And of course, there's the age-old assumption: a bigger bullet is a deadlier bullet. Well, hold on, because it is not that simple. The reality is this: size is not the ultimate factor. A .45 ACP might feel like it could stop a charging rhino, but in real-world defensive scenarios, it's far from the one-shot magic wand some believe it to be. And let's put to rest the tired myth that a 9mm is too weak for the job. That idea has been thoroughly debunked by modern ballistics. The effectiveness of any given caliber isn't just about its diameter or grain weight. You must consider critical performance factors like penetration and expansion. A defensive round has to be able to reach vital organs, and ideally, it should expand to create a larger, more effective wound channel. Without both of these attributes, you might as well be throwing rocks. But even that doesn't tell the whole story. There are countless other variables, both measurable and not, that determine a bullet's true lethality. Here's the bottom line: simply choosing the biggest caliber you can find is not a guarantee of success. In this discussion, we are stripping away the myths and taking a hard look at what actually makes a caliber effective, or, as some would say, deadly. We will explore common handgun calibers and the cutting-edge ammunition designs that are rewriting the rulebook. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll have a clear understanding of why the deadliest caliber might not be what you think it is. Magnum calibers. Overkill for defense. When the topic of deadly calibers comes up, the usual suspects are the heavy hitters: the .44 Magnum, the .454 Casull, and similar powerhouse rounds. These calibers, born from the world of big game hunting, are typically chambered in large frame revolvers and engineered to deliver immense energy. A .44 Magnum, for example, often pushes a 240-grain bullet at speeds between 1,200 and 1,300 feet per second from a 6-inch barrel. This generates muzzle energies in the range of 750 to 900 foot-pounds. The .454 Casull takes that to another level entirely, launching a 300-grain bullet at up to 1,600 feet per second, delivering muzzle energies that can exceed 1,600 foot-pounds. These numbers prove their raw power, which is perfect for taking down large, dangerous animals. But for self-defense against a human threat, they are simply overkill. The problem with these calibers isn't just their excessive power. It's the significant drawbacks that come with it. In a high-stress defensive encounter, the heavy recoil of these rounds makes fast, accurate follow-up shots incredibly difficult, a critical disadvantage. Furthermore, their tendency to overpenetrate poses a serious risk to innocent bystanders, as these rounds can easily pass through interior walls and other unintended targets. The sheer size and weight of the firearms required to handle these cartridges also make them impractical for daily concealed carry. This is precisely why calibers that offer a balance of effective stopping power, manageable recoil, and a reduced risk of overpenetration are far more suitable for self-defense. Service calibers, the practical balance. And that brings us to the mainstream service calibers: the 9mm, the .40 Smith & Wesson, and the .45 Auto. Among these, the 9mm has seen a massive surge in popularity, largely eclipsing the other two. These calibers represent a critical balance, providing sufficient terminal performance while maintaining a level of recoil that allows for quicker and more accurate follow-up shots. The 9mm in particular has benefited tremendously from decades of advancements in bullet technology, which have dramatically improved its effectiveness. When you factor in its lower recoil and higher standard magazine capacity, it's no wonder that the 9mm has become the top choice for both law enforcement agencies and armed civilians. As we discussed, larger calibers require larger firearms, which can be impractical for daily carry. Smaller, more efficient calibers like the 9mm allow for the design of compact, highly concealable handguns, making them ideal for everyday self-defense. Ultimately, the most effective caliber is not necessarily the biggest, It's the one that strikes the right balance for the user and the specific application. The lethality equation. Penetration and expansion. The deadliest caliber in a real-world scenario isn't the one with the biggest number on the box. It's the one that performs when it counts by effectively stopping a threat. To do this, a defensive round must meet several critical requirements. The first is penetration. To neutralize an attacker, a bullet must be able to reach vital organs. After extensive testing, the FBI established that a bullet needs to penetrate between 12 and 18 inches in ballistic gelatin to be considered effective. This specific range accounts for the complexities of the human body bone, muscle, and clothing, as well as the potential for non-ideal shot angles. If a bullet cannot reach these critical structures, it will not do its job. But penetration alone is not enough. The size of the permanent wound cavity a bullet creates is equally important. A larger wound channel results in more rapid blood loss, which is crucial for quickly incapacitating a threat. This is why jacketed hollow-point bullets are the standard for defensive use. They are engineered to expand upon impact, creating a wide wound channel, while simultaneously slowing the bullet down to minimize the risk of overpenetration. It's this balance that makes them the go-to choice for professionals. However, not all calibers achieve this balance equally well. Full metal jacket rounds, for example, will penetrate deeply but fail to expand, reducing their terminal effectiveness. Conversely, some smaller calibers may expand reliably, but lack the momentum needed to penetrate to an effective depth. This brings us to a third, crucial factor: consistency. A reliable defensive caliber must perform effectively across a wide range of scenarios, including encounters at various distances and shots that must pass through intermediate barriers. Redefining performance. Modern ammunition. The evolution of ammunition has moved beyond traditional hollow points. Innovative designs, such as fluted bullets, are completely rewriting the rules of terminal ballistics. These rounds do not rely on expansion. Instead, they use precisely engineered channels to redirect fluid pressure upon impact, creating devastating wound cavities through hydraulic force. This cutting-edge technology challenges conventional wisdom about what makes a bullet effective. Take Lehigh Defense, for example. Their extreme defense and extreme penetrator projectiles have become legendary over the last decade. These solid copper rounds feature innovative nose designs that allow them to penetrate deeply while creating consistent helical wound channels that can rival or even exceed those of traditional hollow points. Even smaller calibers, often dismissed as inadequate, can be transformed by this technology. Lehigh's Extreme Cavitator for the .32 ACP, for instance, delivers remarkable performance, creating impressive cavitation and meeting FBI penetration standards from a compact pistol. Lehigh isn't the only innovator in this space. Norma's NXD rounds use a similar fluted design to achieve deep penetration and significant tissue damage. Inceptor Ammunition's ARX projectiles use a unique profile to spin fluid outward like a tornado, creating massive temporary cavities. G9 Defense has also introduced its external hollow point, a design that combines deep penetration with extensive tissue damage while minimizing overpenetration risk. These advancements are proving that intelligent engineering can often outperform sheer force, pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible for defensive ammunition. The deciding factor: shot placement. However, even the most advanced ammunition is only as good as the shooter behind it. The effectiveness of any caliber is not solely determined by its design or its performance in a lab. It's about how well the shooter can use it under pressure. A smaller caliber, placed accurately and with proper training, can be far more effective than a poorly aimed shot from a larger, more powerful handgun. In a self-defense situation, shot placement is king. No matter how powerful or technologically advanced your ammunition is, it is the ability to hit critical areas of the target that will determine the outcome. This is why consistent practice, complete familiarity with your firearm, and the ability to maintain composure under stress are absolutely vital. It is not enough to simply own a high-performance firearm. You must be proficient in its use. The debate over the minimum caliber for self-defense will likely never end. But ultimately, the best caliber for self-defense is the one you can handle confidently and shoot accurately. Final verdict: The deadliest caliber is a myth. So, what is the deadliest caliber? After stripping away the myths and examining the realities, the answer is clear. There is no single deadliest caliber. Penetration, expansion, and wound cavity potential are all critical components of a bullet's effectiveness. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to the shooter's skill, training, and preparation. Even the most advanced ammunition, whether it's a traditional hollow point or a modern fluted monolithic, still depends on the user to deliver it to the right place. The deadliest caliber is the one that you can wield effectively, loaded with ammunition that suits your specific needs, and performs reliably in real-world scenarios. Raw power alone doesn't win a fight. Precision and preparation do. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think is the deadliest caliber? Share your thoughts and experiences down in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell for updates on our latest content. Stay prepared, stay focused, and until next time, stay safe.